Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. My name is Dwynn, and in this tutorial, I'm going to share with you all how I made these beautiful mixed ribbon bows. I suggest that you watch my original video on how to make a bow, just as a preface, as it's as well a detailed methodical instruction on the construction of this very same bow. The only difference is we're going to be using 2 ribbons in this bow instead of 1. And I'm going to introduce you to my love, Savannah. This is my Labradoodle, and this is the look that she gives me every time she realizes I'm about to start crafting. Let's look at the ribbons that we're going to be using for these 2 bows. I got these ribbons on craftoutlet.com. They're absolutely phenomenal in quality. This is beautiful buffalo chick. We're going to pair up with another ribbon that's an Easter ribbon with a black and white gingham check. Just an absolutely beautiful combination. Of course, the ribbons are wired, and as I said, these are spectacular quality from craftoutlet.com. Look at that. That's beautiful together. I'm going to be making a white deco mesh wreath within the next few days, and I'm going to also film that and post it on YouTube, so hopefully you'll be able to see that in the near future. I'm also going to be doing a spring wreath with lots of pinks and orchids, so I wanted a nice floral ribbon, and I thought these 2 paired up very beautifully. They're also wired, of course, and also from craftoutlet.com. I also picked up this ribbon, which I absolutely love, and I've been pondering whether I'm going to use it or not. I just am not sure which of the 2 I'm actually going to end up using as I start this bow making process. All right, so we're also going to need some pipe cleaners and a pair of scissors. All right, so we're going to begin construction on this bow. This is for my Easter wreath. I'm going to cut off at an angle the tail. I do this always. I don't usually dovetail. I angle, but you do you. Doesn't really matter. You do what you prefer. I'm going to decide the length of my tail just by eyeballing the ribbon. And first thing I'm going to do is pinch that nice and tight, put it between the index finger and the thumb of my left hand, and that's going to remain a continuous pinch and hold throughout the loop making process. First thing I'm going to do is my first loop. We're going to construct this base of the bow. It's going to be 3 loops on each side of the midline. It's around 8 inches of ribbon for each loop, but it's best if you learn to make these bows by just eyeballing rather than having to measure. Pretty soon you'll find that you get very proficient at doing that once you get good at the construction of this bow. Now we're going to make another loop on the other side. There's going to be 3 loops, as I said, 1 on each side of the midline. So we're going to try and keep our loops symmetrical. Once we decide at how big we want the loop on each side. Now we're going to twist our ribbon because we always want the good side up or the nice side up. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Put it between my index finger and my thumb. And so you have the second loop on that side. Now we're going to create the second loop on the other side. So you're basically going back and forth and back and forth. Okay. There's 1, 2. I'm pointing out to you there. Now it's time to make the second loop. Twist your ribbon. You always want to make sure that that nice side or the pretty side is facing you. Stick it between your index finger and your thumb. Now you have 2 loops on each side. We're going to create our third loop on this side, as I'm indicating with my finger there. Twist so that the nice side of the ribbon is up. Keep that nice tight pinch with your index finger and your thumb. Pinch it. See my index finger and my thumb, nice tight hold there. I'm pointing that out to you. So we're going to do our last loop on the other side now. Twist the ribbon, fold it over, make sure your loops are symmetrical. If you don't get it right the first time, you can always pull your ribbon forward and even back the loop up a little bit, if that makes sense, just to make sure you have the loops approximately all the same size. Now I'm going to cut this ribbon off, and I'm going to cut it off matching it up with that other tail so that I have them relatively even. Now at this point, I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and I'm going to wrap it around very snug and tight right down the middle of the bow where I had my index finger and thumb pinching all the while. And we're going to pull it really, really tight, give it a few twists, pull that tail down now, meet it up with the other tail. You could form your loops a little bit, make sure you have it just like you like it. So we have 3 loops on each side. Now this is the base of our bow. Now we're going to take that other ribbon with the rabbits. I love this ribbon. Oh my gosh, I love this ribbon. I'm crazy for it. I'm going to angle the tail. Now this time we're not going to create our loops quite as big as we did the loops on the base. We're going to make the loops a little bit smaller. And we're going to create this time 2 loops on each side. So you can place it up against your base to see if you're actually making your loops a little bit smaller. It comes out to about 6-inch piece of ribbon, or as you look down on it, around 3 inches, the loop. We're going to do 2 loops on each side. Twist. This definitely has a good side and a not good side. Pinch. Place it between your index finger and your thumb. Now we have 1 loop on each side. You can adjust your loops at any time just to be sure they're symmetrical. Twist so that you make sure that you have the good side of your ribbon up, facing you. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Put it between your index finger and your thumb. There's your second loop on one side. Now what do? We're going to do the second loop on the other side. Don't forget to twist, fold it over, create your loop. Look at your others to be sure you have it pretty symmetrical. All right, now at this point, we're going to take a pipe cleaner and we're going to put it right down the midline of the bow, bring it around to the back, pull it nice and tight, turn it over, give it a couple of good twists. Now it's very secure and you can let go with your finger, your index finger and your thumb. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create what I call the button or a loop right down the center of the bow. I call it the button. Twist so the good side of the ribbon is up, facing you. You're going to fold it over, and how lucky am I that I have that cute little black and white gingham bunny facing right up, right down the middle of that button. Oh my gosh, that was lucky and beautiful at the same time. Okay, so we're going to just simply turn that under. As you can see what I'm doing, catch it with your index finger and your thumb. See, I'm pointing. I just created 1 loop by turning it, folding it over and turning it under. And now it's held very, very tight and secure with my index finger and my thumb. Now I'm going to reach around and take one of the ends of the pipe cleaner, stick it right through the button. See, it came out right underneath. Pull it through. Now this is going to secure your button. Reach around back, pull it nice and tight, give it a couple of good twists, and now everything is secure. All right, so now your tail, one of your tails is over the top of the loops, and the other one is at the bottom. So we have to figure out how we're going to get that tail on top to meet up with the one on the bottom, and it's quite simple. You're going to twist your ribbon. You go ahead and cut it off. I'm sorry, you need to cut it off first. Okay, now fold it over. Got ahead of myself there. Okay, you're gonna fold it over and simply insert it into the button and pull it all the way through. See, I'm reaching for it there with my finger and my thumb. I pull it right through the button, and there you go. Your tails are now together. Now what we're going to do is attach this piece with the base. So what I do is I position my pipe cleaners at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, if that makes any sense. We want them vertical because I'm going to wrap it around that base to form the mixed ribbon bow. So see how I have the pipe cleaner up there at 12 o'clock? We're going to just put it right over the top of that base. I like to put the pipe cleaner right through the middle of the tails. Bring it around the back. Pull it nice and snug. I take my fingers and press it together really, really snug there. Reach around the back. And then I just grab all of the pipe cleaners. I just want to twist everything really, really, really tight together. And your bow is very secure now. And here you have your mixed ribbon bow. It's all attached and beautiful. Now all you have to do is shape it. And then you have enough pipe cleaner there in the back that you can attach it to your wreath. You have your 4 tails, your base, which is 3 loops on each side, the ribbon on top, the Easter ribbon on top, 2 loops on each side, 1 button right down the middle, and here you have an absolutely beautiful bow. Love, love. So pretty. I'm going to angle my tails. I think I did angle a couple of them, but now usually you want to trim it up at the end. It's always adjustments to be made. This is so, so pretty. All right, so now we're going to make another bow exactly the same way. I'm going to use, what I finally decided was to use these 2 together. The floral print. I'll use that other ribbon for something else. It's so pretty. Again, craftoutlet.com. I got these ribbons. Absolutely beautiful quality. Nice wired ribbon. The fabric of the ribbon is beautiful. Angle my tail there a little bit. And I'm going to create this bow again, as I said, exactly the same way that I created the other one. So you'll be seeing it twice. I decide how long I want my tail. I make my first bow. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Index forefinger. Put that nice and snug between there. Again, eyeballing your loop to make sure it's around 4 inches. Twist your ribbon, fold it over, so that you have the nice side of the ribbon on top facing you. Now we're going to do loop number 2 on the other side. Now we're creating the base of the bow. Again, we're going to do 3 loops on each side. Pinch, pinch, pull that loop around. Keep that nice tight pinch with your index finger and your thumb. Twist the ribbon. Fold it over. Make sure it's symmetrical, your loops. That was number 2 loop on the other side. Now what are we going to do? We're going to do the 3rd loop on the opposite side. So you're going back and forth and back and forth. Twist your ribbon, fold it over, pinch it. Nice tight hold between your index finger and your thumb. Now we have 3 loops on one side. We just need 1 more loop on the other side. So your ribbon is twisted. There you go. Fold it over. Make sure your loops are symmetrical. Pinch it. Put it right between the index finger and the thumb, keeping it nice tight hold. Now at this point, you can cut your tail off, just eyeballing it to make sure it's somewhat similar to the one poking out on the bottom there. Now you're going to put your pipe cleaner right down the midline of the bow, nice and secure and tight. Pull it around the back, twist a couple of good times, nice and secure. And now you can pull that tail down to meet it up with the one on the bottom. And you have 3 loops on each side. And you have a beautiful base to bow number 2. You can form it a little bit with your fingers. I fan my fingers out, spread them out, and spread the bow out. Nothing like wired ribbon though. You can just really shape something so beautifully with wired ribbon. And see, again, I'm pondering that ribbon. I just love it. But I finally went back to this one again. All right, so remember now, decide the length of your tail. Now remember this piece that goes on top of the base, it's going to be 2 loops on each side with a button in the middle. So nice tight hold. I'm going to fold my ribbon over. This ribbon again has definitely a good side. No mistake about that. So I hold it up there to make sure I'm getting the loop just a little bit smaller than the loops I did on the base. You could just eyeball that, but in general, around 3 inches as you look down on it, or 6 inches in length, the entire loop. So we need a loop on the other side. That's loop number 1. Now we're going to go to the opposite side, create loop number 2 on that side. Same as we did the other one. Take a look at your loops. Are they symmetrical? Okay, twist, fold it over, make loop number 2 on the other side. Pinch it between your index finger and your thumb. Keep it nice and tight. Looking good. All right, so we have a pipe cleaner. We're going to put it right down the midline of the bow. Bring it around the back. Keep it nice and tight and secure. We're going to twist, give it a couple of twists in the back, and secure that. All right, so we're going to twist it again. Now we're going to form our button, or that single loop, right down the midline of the bow. So we're just going to turn it under. See how I just tuck it down in there? Catch it with my index finger and my thumb. I'm going to do it again for you. Just form the loop. I'm showing you with my thumb. I'm going to catch it. Stick it down in there, catch it with my thumb, and that's how I'm holding that loop. Now I'm going to reach around, showing you with my finger there that my thumb is holding it tight. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner right there, can't miss that, poke it right through the button. This is what's going to secure everything all together, especially that button. Pull it around, go around to the back side, bring the pipe cleaner together with a couple of good twists. And there you have your button, or your last loop down the midline. Okay. So now we want to cut off the ribbon, approximate length of the tail that you originally cut. And now what are we going to do? We're going to take that tail, twist the ribbon so that we have the good side up, and we're going to take that and just feed it right through the button. Reach for it with my thumb and my index finger, pull it right through. See how easy that is? So pretty. Now we're just going to pull those tails around. Now we're going to take our pipe cleaner and put it at, again, best way I can describe it is a vertical position, with the pipe cleaner sticking up at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Because what we're going to do now is just attach it to our base. So I'm separating the tails there because I like my pipe cleaner to go right down the middle of those tails. Okay. Now, again, what I mentioned before, take your pipe cleaners, position them vertically so that you have one at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. You're going to set it right on top of that base. Press it firmly, really, really firmly together. Reach for the pipe cleaners, bring them around the back. So pretty. Still keeping a nice tight hold until you have those pipe cleaners twisted and secure. Okay, bring it around to the back. Now I take all of the pipe cleaners and I just twist them all together. And there you have it. It's secure, and you have plenty of pipe cleaner to attach it to a wreath. Now at this point, you just shape your loops. This is very pretty. It's going to be beautiful with the florals to match. I'm showing you there. I just fan my fingers out to open up the loops of the bow. And of course, you're going to shape it even better once it's actually on the wreath. Pull your tails around. And again, I like to angle my tails. And again, you do you. You could dovetail them if you like. And here I'm going to just angle my tails. Again, this process will become second nature. Once you get into the groove of doing this type of bow, you're going to absolutely love it. No more measuring, no more bow makers. I actually can do more than 2 ribbons on a bow, which I'll show you in a future video. But that is beautiful. And there you have it. If you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe. My channel is in the infant stages, so you'll notice in my editing that I don't have many bells and whistles, so to speak, but I'm layering all those skills on as I go. But the basic thing is the beauty of the projects that I do and sharing them with you and inspiring you. And hopefully you're learning from me. I've been crafting for many, many, many years. Please leave your comments in the comment box. Please let me know in the comment box if you've been successful at this bow making technique. I'd love to know. Watch for upcoming videos where I apply these beautiful bows to projects. In the meantime, take care and see you next time.